year at Virginia Tech. To have this team on the bubble and playing as well as they are right now, quite an accomplishment to this point.
We are underway in the ACC. BC in white starts with the ball. Hokies in maroon. BC battled tough in a 2-point loss at Pittsburgh. It's now 4 losses in a row, but a team hungry and at home, trying to pull the upset today.
Derek Thornton, just an absent pass. You got to be smarter with the ball. You got to value the ball. And Thornton's a key piece to them, the 5th-year grad transfer. That when they kind of, you mentioned earlier, they go as Jay Heath goes, but in terms of the team running good offense, Thornton's the key ingredient to get Heath those shots, to get him opportunities, and he can't be lackadaisical with the ball like that in the first possession.
Virginia Tech defensively opens up in a man-to-man. Hunter Couture, the defensive assignment here. He makes one of his first career starts in place of Nolly. Jay Heath buries a 3, and that's exactly what Jim Christian wants from his star freshman.
And then Obisabede, he's got to know his personnel a little bit. He wants to be in that gap like he was, but he stayed 1 dribble too long, 1 second too long. He has to recover to Heath. He's their one very good 3-point shooter. You don't want to let him get rhythm 3s off early. They talked about that in shoot-around. Wasn't executed exactly right there.
Curious to see how this Hokies team plays without their leading scorer, Nolly, and also Tyrese Radford, who had the game winner in double overtime against UNC.
They're still going to play the same way in terms of their motion, the ball screens, the flare screens, the down screens. Those will all happen. It's just not having Nolly's threat. I mean, he shoots 33% of their shots. That's 1 of every 3 shots goes off of Nolly's hand. You need his threat out there.
Jarius Hamilton knocks down another triple.
This BC team is way different, and this sounds stupid, I know that. When you make shots, it's a real different ball game. It's a simple game sometimes, and they've really struggled to make shots, but 2 threes early on is a great sign for them starting at home here.
Isaiah Wilkins steps into a jumper, drills it. Wilkins, another player who typically comes off the bench, but is in the starting lineup this afternoon. Derek Thornton trying to get in on the act. He can't connect from 3. Both teams, really, all 10 guys typically on the floor are threats from 3.
Well, Virginia Tech, I think, they shoot at a better clip. I mean, all these guys are capable shooters, but actually being able to do it at a solid percentage. Number 15 in maroon, Jalen Cohn's been out of control. 58% in his last 5 games from 3. He has been lights out.
Obisabede, he's the heartbeat of this Hokies team. Nifty scoop to the hoop for 2.
Great finish, great body control. Jim Christian isn't going to like the on-ball defense and the lack of help to really adjust to affect his shot at the rim.
After Buzz Williams left for Texas A&M, Beatty entered his name into the transfer portal. He's the biggest recruit they've got, and he was just recruiting him to stay in Blacksburg, which they did. And
him and Nolly. Nolly's a redshirt freshman. He had the option potentially to leave as well. He chose to stay, and those 2 guys are the key guys on this roster.
Tough take from Steph Mitchell. Second effort is good.
This Virginia Tech team, Pete J. Horn is the tallest guy out there, 6'7", but they're a very good rebounding team. Top 40 in the nation in defensive rebounding percentage, but right there giving up an uncharacteristic second chance points. You need all 5 guys to crash and rebound for this Hokie squad.
Inside to Horn, the hook shot doesn't drop. Isaiah Wilkins stayed with it and was fouled.
You can't have that happen. There's 1 red jersey down there with 3 white jerseys, and Wilkins just outworked him, wanted the ball more. Now, this is somewhat similar. Mitchell on the other side misses it, but that's just more of a quick jump, and it looked like Horn might have actually tipped it in for him. But a good drive. Stephon Mitchell, a very versatile 4-5 man, able to put it on the deck, knock down 3s, as we mentioned. Both teams very skilled lineups 1 through 5.
One shot.
Wilkins 1 of 2 of the line. He has 3 out of the Hokies, 5 early in this game. Here's Jay Heath on the drive. Straight to the rack for 2.
Straight to the rack, just too easy. The Couture's help came too late, and it was too feeble. He didn't do anything to change it, but the on-ball defense has to be better for the Hokies.
It And off went Beatty last, so it'll be Boston College ball, and the Eagles doubling up Virginia Tech 10-5.
We said, Jay Heath, this team goes as he goes sometimes. He, like the other Eagles right now, are on a good start and up 10-5 as he gets to the 10.
He said, hey, I've been doing this for 20 years at Wofford. Nobody cared that I ate popcorn. You come to the ACC, everybody cares. Oh my God, this guy's eating popcorn. He's not in the locker room. Just a normal guy.
You're welcome, Coach. That's a media creation right there. As he said, Wofford, the microscope isn't quite as big and bright as it is when you're in the ACC, and especially as well as his team is playing. This is their first three-point attempt, as I mentioned by Cone earlier. The best shooter on this team, shooting 58%. He's seeing a huge basket right now. But this team kind of lives and dies by the three. They almost make 11 a game. That's top 10 in the nation. 49% of their shots are threes, so they have to run them off the line and limit the Hokies threes for BC. Don't let them get attempts. That was too easy.
Hamilton off the mark there. Yeah, the popcorn, it's silly, but it's a microcosm for, you said, the microscope of the ACC. Couture from the same spot drills it back-to-back threes for Virginia Tech, and they take their first lead of the afternoon.
Defensive transition is huge. You've got to communicate. And again, Cone drawing all that attention. He spotted up. He wanted that first one. Two guys closed out to him, so he was able to give the one more, that extra pass to Couture, who also is a very good shooter in his own right.
Mitchell for three. That's no good. Stays with the Eagles.
You see good drive by Couture, head up, the help from Heath. He really should make Couture try to make that shot, and he should be recovering all the way to Cone. That's the mistake. Here you see Hamilton step up. He didn't even make, you should stunt. He should be stepping towards Cone, and as Cone looks to pass, maybe he can move over to Couture, but there was no communication on that side of the floor between him and Mitchell, so it ended up being 2 versus 1 for 1 second. Cone read it and made the right play.
Took 5.5 minutes, but Virginia Tech star freshman Landers Nolly is checked into the game, did not start because he was late to the team bus. His team fared pretty well without him. They got him a 1-point lead.
And Radford's in the game as well, 23, who had the game-winning basket against Pitt, as you mentioned earlier.
I was going to ask you when we were talking about Mike Young having fun with the popcorn, how has he adjusted to the ACC so well? A team that was picked 14th, now tied for 4th in the league.
I think first and foremost, he imbues his guys with confidence. They're not looking over their shoulder, wondering if they make a mistake or took a wrong shot. He wants his guys to believe they're good players, go make plays, but they play the right way. You see as that ball gets whipped around the horn, they assist on 62% of their baskets. That's also top 10 in the nation. They're an outstanding passing team. 3 straight threes right there, all by good passing, hands and feet ready. So they play the right way, they share the ball, they play with confidence. And let's be honest, Coach said there's a million surprises from this year right now, and a lot of it is every guy has improved and been better than they were 4 or 5 months ago. They've all stepped up in different ways.
They shoot the 3 ball really well. Jim Christian, Boston College head coach, said we just can't give them threes. They've allowed 3 attempts. Virginia Tech's made them pay. They've made all 3, and now they're on a 9-0 run.
The 2 things you have to have is that better on-ball defense. You can't compete off the dribble. And secondly, you've got to think, do we really want to help off of certain guys? Like, I wouldn't help off a Cone right now. I would make them try to make 2s in the lane, which I know that's what Jim Christian wants his guys to do, but then they have to go out there and execute that.
Naheem Aline drives in, floater no good, but an offensive rebound and a second chance opportunity. Horn from the same spot, this time rattles in and out.
Popovich in the game as well, 21 and white. We'll see if they can get him a touch on the block and maybe force a double team.
Instead, a turnover by Boston College, although Hokies give it right back. Shot clock did reset. So Steph Mitchell and Nick Popovich into the game. 2 bigs for Boston College trying to use that size advantage. Inside to Popovich, couldn't handle it.
That's actually where Beatty got a hand in there, because Beatty's a smart player. He knew the roll was coming, and now you have another wide open 3 in transition. Might want a timeout. Yep, there it is.
Timeout, Jim Christian. Naheem Aline drills it from the corner. Virginia Tech, 4 of 5 from 3. They have made them pay.
We know they can put them up. We know they will put them up. And BC slowed him down for about 5 minutes, but the last 4, all triples, all wide open.
Virginia Tech this season, they have lived by the three, they have died by the three, and right now at Chestnut Hill, they're living pretty well. 4 of 5 from deep at a 7-point lead.
Yeah, and you take a look at those numbers. Look at what their clip they're shooting it at, just shy of 50%. But again, 44% of their offense comes from this point. They don't manufacture a lot of points off of free throws. They don't make a lot of twos. You have to take away the three-point line. Easier said than done, but right now the looks they're getting is because they're getting in transition. The guys are running to the three-point line in odd man situations, and they're passing the ball well, minus that. And BC also is getting beat off the dribble pretty consistently.
Nolly takes a tough foul there. Hamilton just ran right into him. He's down with tough. I'm Jay Alter. Virginia Tech on a 13-2 run in the last 4 minutes of this game.
It's crazy how fast it can happen with this team, too. I mean, they fill it up real fast. I mean, BC was feeling great about themselves playing, being up 10-5, and the next thing you know, they're down 7. Nolly in the post. They want to get him a post up. BC switching everything right now. You've got to know that when you're making those passes right there. That screener, that guy's going to switch out and look to get a hand on the passing lane.
Nolly with 5 seconds to shoot. Radford couldn't handle it, and it's easily stolen away by Julian Rishwain. Jared Hamilton took his time. It led to an air ball, though. BC really out of rhythm offensively. Defensively, Rishwain back-to-back turnovers. Fouled on his way to the rim. He'll get 2. Julian Rishwain.
Brand of basketball, and right now they're getting turnovers on their defensive end or stops, which is helping them get out in transition. Their defense is always, as always, is connected to their offense, and they've really picked it up on both ends of the court and are lighting up the Eagles right now.
Hokies have 9 points off the 5 BC turnovers you referenced, Alan. Meanwhile, the Eagles, they're in a scoring drought. 4 minutes and 36 seconds without a point. The freshman Rishwain trying to change that and can't. Missed them both.
Those always hurt. You get a live ball turnover where it could have been an and one, a layup, and you miss both free throws. BC switching everything here. They might try to get Nolly posted up. Yep, they are. If Bradford can pop out, he's got Rishwain. He's got a mismatch.
There's Nolly. Decides to just pop and hit. Landers Nolly showing why he very well could be the ACC Freshman of the Year.
I think it's him and Vernon Carey. It's a 2-horse race, and right now, Vernon Carey, as great as he's been, Nolly is arguably more important to his team. Again, shooting 33% of their shots. That's top 20 in the nation. Uses top 20 percentage of the top 20 number in terms of possessions used. The ball is always in his hands, and he's been outstanding for a redshirt freshman.
Can't give Cone space, although he leaves this one short.
Rishwain went under the screen. As a former shooter, that guy goes under the screen. You are licking your chops. It is, you know you're going to have a little daylight to get it up.
Boston College has no points in the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Trying to change that with Popovich, and he misses again.
I like the thought, though, to go into the big fella. When John Ajoko is in there, though, they're going to be one-on-one. Popovich just kind of rushed it.
Trying to score in transition. Rishwain, a 3. No good. Boston College is ice cold. It's been 6 minutes without scoring a point.
Virginia Tech's been uncharacteristically sloppy with the ball. They're top 5 in the nation in terms of turnover rate. They hardly turn the ball over. And right now, a lot of deflected passes, a lot of loose passes. They've got away with some of it, but not there on that possession. 4th turnover of the game already for them.
Today, 3 of the best in the Big 12 SEC Challenge games right here on ESPN. Tennessee taking on Kansas at 4 Eastern time. Then Kentucky, Texas Tech in the nightcap. #1 Baylor against Florida. Big 12 SEC Challenge.
Huge opportunity for a Florida team that many thought would be top 10 in the nation. I thought it was a team that would contend for a national title with one of the key pieces Virginia Tech lost last year, Kerry Blackshear. The grad transfer goes to Florida. They've struggled, but a massive opportunity on their home floor to have the #1 team in the nation coming in to Gainesville.
BC started shooting the ball really well. They were 4 of 6 since then. You have 6 turnovers and 0 for 7 shooting.
That's partially Virginia Tech's defense was so bad at the outset, though. I mean, they had 2 straight line drives for layups, a wide open kick out, knockdown threes. And now they've tightened up a little bit, whereas BC has been sloppy with the ball, and they've missed the 1 or 2 shots they had. Another turnover by the Hokies.
And that pass came from Wabisa Beatty. He's got the second best assist-to-turnover ratio in the country, #1 in the ACC. You rarely see him turn it over, and BC cashes in for a much-needed basket on the other end. Quick trigger off the mark from Wilkins. Not many teams could go 6 minutes and 30 seconds without a point and hang around. BC only down by 7, trying to make it 4. Felder a crucial offensive rebound. Heath on the drive this time, got the bump. It'll head to the line for 2.
That's how Felder can have a big impact on this game, is crashing the offensive glass. But this is, again, very weak pass, off balance by Abidi across the formation. Heath reads it all the way and able to get the other way and get a big layup, which broke that little drought, gives them a little momentum. This is where BC, when they actually can create offense off their defense, they are top 50 in the nation in defensive turnover rate. They force a lot of turnovers. In ACC play, though, that number has gone down significantly as their competition has gotten better in league versus non-league games.
Heath missed that foul shot, but Jim Christian said, we go as he goes. He's got 7 points. The Eagles have 12 overall.
You got to make foul shots. You're on your home floor right now, struggling offensively. Rishwain misses 2. Heath misses 2.
Now 0 for 4 in the game.
Love that play. Misdirection. Nolly was wide open for a 3.
Oh, Cone just slipped out of his hands.
You don't see that every day. I mean, he's a great shooter with a potential opportunity. Beatty skipping it across because the help was late. Heath lost his man. And they worked on that shoot around where Heath was going to come over and help hard and then get back. The problem is when Cone's in that corner, that is a deadly shooter. He recovered enough, and Cone had butterfingers earlier today.
Derek Thornton fouled. Both teams with 6 turnovers early. That won't make Jim Christian and Mike Young happy. Thornton trying to make something happen. Passes off to Heath. Decides to fire way off the mark. That ball must be slippery.
So many passes deflected or being dropped.
You've seen like 3 or 4 guys in the last minute drop the ball. Beatty, smooth catch, smooth release, and he gets it to go.
And that's not Beatty's game per se. I mean, he's a capable 3-point shooter, but he's only shooting 20% on the year. But Thornton still got to close out and respect the shot, especially late in the shot clock.
Virginia Tech's 5th triple of the afternoon, and it's a 10-point lead.
Good recovery by Horn.
Poked it away. Beatty was fouled.
Thornton, I mean, if you're going to make a play on the ball, that's close to potentially being an F1, but I think Roger Ayers is going to call a common foul, and good for Thornton, because right now they don't need to give up any more foul shots. They're giving up enough open threes. 5 threes on the day for the Hokies. All the tickets, man.
Because he's got a crowd of 30 people right behind the bench. There they are to support Wabisa Beatty, who grew up again 45 minutes north of here. And he really sets the tone for this team. You see, he's the floor general. The stats may not pop out, but he really is the heart and soul of this team.
You're 100% right. He sets the tone offensively and defensively. He's the leader, too. We talked to him earlier today. He likes that role, relishes that role, trying to lead the guys and his very young crew. He was very smart in saying, you know, we've had a good year, but we haven't done anything yet. We still got to keep getting better every game, every day, and focus on that. And if they do that, I think they'll find themselves, as we've already mentioned, in the NCAA tournament. But you got a lot of work to do 50 days out from Selection Sunday.
Much needed triple from the sophomore Jarius Hamilton. Boston College had allowed a 17-2 run over the last 8 minutes, so they needed that one.
They endured a 17-0 run on the road at Pitt earlier this week, and still were in at the end of the game.
Beatty, going back to him quickly, he said we just can't allow ourselves to think that we're good.
Yep.
That's
smart.
the mindset.
Yep.
Nolly walked.
And Jim Christian was very clear with us earlier today. He goes, everything's better when we make shots. He's, guys, we can tell you all these things you want to hear. When you make shots, things are different. And that last possession, hitting that three. Remember, they started the game knocking down some threes. Now, again, there was some bad defense by the Hokies, but they have to keep running their stuff and play confident. Nice move by Felder inside.
That is why they are so high on the freshman, C.J. Felder. You get a glimpse of the athleticism he can bring.
Athletic, long, smart, he's got good feet. There he had a good feel of where the defense was. They were on the low side, so he spun to the middle and finished.
Like a lot of freshmen around the country, it's just the inconsistency that has frustrated this coaching staff on Felder.
Down Nolly, see, once the ball inside, they got the switch with Chris Herron Jr. on him. Bailed out by a foul. They've got to recognize when BC is switching and get Nolly in those post-up opportunities with smaller guards. Here's Felder again. Nolly reaches on the low side, not smart. He's got to just, instead of reach there, reposition your body, get between the basket and your man and defend once he's got you in that position. The reach allowed Felder the opening. He felt it, he realized it, laid it in.
How is Virginia Tech so good at getting the mismatch with Nolly? I feel like we see it time and time again, and you know if you're coaching against it, you can't let that happen, and yet it does.
Well, you know what you're trying to switch so that they can't have open opportunities off their screening action. So you're switching 1 through 5. Virginia Tech knows that. It's once you get the switch onto a guard, it's the recognition of the player that has the mismatch and everybody around to get him the ball. That's where they've been lacking a little bit.
Jay Heath threw it up, didn't go. Transition triple, it's good.
Modern basketball, 3-on-2, don't run to the hoop, run to the three-point line. Aline makes him pay, good find by Beatty. Good patience by Beatty, made at least one of the defenders play him before kicking it out.
Naheem Aline, one of these freshmen that account for 70% of the Hokies scoring. That one rolls in for Chris Herron Jr., Boston College with the answer. Cone of 3. That's off the mark. Hamilton decides to pull the trigger, and he hits. But just like that, Boston College pulls within 4.
Actually just saw Beatty look at Cone and say, make the one more pass. As hot as Cone is, and been a couple of games and a couple of periods in my career when you're seeing a big basket, you're really shooting it well, you get a little window, you want to put it up, but sometimes the one more is the right play. Honestly, I would have shot that too if I were Cone, but I don't
doubt it. Aline on the blow-by for 2. Timeout taken by Mike Young, his team up by 6. And the last 2 baskets belong to the freshman Naheem Aline.
Yeah, when you're having as much success as they are shooting threes, you don't want to help. So Aline now gets to go down the middle. Heath doesn't want to help.
Picked 14. I think he would have taken that.
Yeah, he would have taken that. We told him that before the game, and who cares? We had 50 days to go. You said, like, we got so much to do. Right now is winning this game is the most important thing, and that is the right mindset to have. But that's also accurate for this team. In the ACC this year, there are less quality opponents and quality wins to have, less big wins to have. There are more potholes, more bad losses to take. BC is a team battling right now, but their numbers, if you lose on the road to them, is not a good loss for your numbers. So this is a huge game for the Hokies and a big game for BC, trying to right the ship and get the season going in the right direction.
Eagles on a 4-game losing streak. 3 seconds to shoot. Felder puts it up. No good. Mike Young was almost upset that we wanted to talk bracketology with him, but it's a testament that they're in the conversation, although it seemingly Virginia Tech is seemingly on the bubble each and every year.
They've been living on the bubble for multiple coaches back, and sometimes they've had some success. Obviously last year, a tremendous amount of success with Buzz Williams in his final year, but you lose 80%, 84% of the scoring from that team. It's a whole new group. So this group is actually happy to be on the bubble, and I think they're going to end up on the right side of it when it's all said and done.
Plus the foul for Steph Mitchell. Now, Boston College does have the size advantage against this undersized Hokies team. We'll see if they use it more this game.
Mitchell going right at P.J. Horn. Good move. He's a skilled fella that can step out, knock down the three, pass the ball well in there. When they spread him out, he's able to get the ball in the middle where there's no real help. He can drive down one-on-one, good finish. They're struggling from the free throw line, hurting them right now.
Yeah, 0 for 5 from the foul line this afternoon.
That was almost an air ball.
Yeah.
So the last possession down, they got Nolly in a post-up. Here it is again. They're going to get Nolly in a post-up, but his catch, he had a pretty good catch. It took him even further away from the hoop. Now take a look. They ran this late a lot against UNC. When they want to get a basket, they want to isolate Nolly in the post, and you cannot reach. Chris Herron Jr. reaches over the top. Felder comes and tries to help. But that, when I was talking about the beginning of the show, he's not sped up. He understands the game. He didn't get moved too quick. He didn't rush it. He turned, threw it right off the glass with a feathery touch to really calm, relaxed, poised move.
Into Nolly again. Has that mismatch. Can't take advantage of it this time.
He bailed out. He ended up shooting a fadeaway. Take your time, maybe get it face up and go at Herron. You've got the size advantage, the length advantage. Go try to abuse that. Don't shoot a fadeaway.
Again, goes begging for three from Hamilton. BC now 3 of 12 from 3.
So impressed with how Virginia Tech defensive rebounds. Just everybody gang rebounding.
I know that 3 missed from Nolly, but boy, he has such a smooth, quick release.
It's interesting, he gets so little elevation, but he's a taller guy, big at 6'7", physical body, able to get that shot up from distance, but he doesn't really elevate.
Jarius Hamilton on the drive, and it doesn't drop again. BC's gone into a shooting slump. Hokies can't capitalize in transition. They turn it over. Both teams just not in a rhythm right now. Nolly kept it alive. Beatty wide open. He misses it. Another offensive rebound, and finally, Tyrese Radford puts it home.
It's a critical last minute for BC. You can't give up those type of turnovers, the offensive rebound. You need to have a good possession here. You want to go into break with a little momentum. You don't want to see this in a double-digit game. BC did not play this poorly. They should be down by double digits in this half.
Heath, deep three, buries it. Much needed 3 from the freshman, Jay Heath.
Big shot, a good recognition by Mitchell to kick it out. But also, Bisabide was looking at the roof and really upset with himself. You can't leave Heath on the strong side there. He's their best shooter. I know you want to help there. Somebody else has got to dig down and make him feel uncomfortable. Can't be Beatty guarding Heath in that situation. He made him pay. Big shot.
Virginia Tech can hold for the last shot here. Nolly, that's who you want to have it. 3 seconds. Beatty has to throw it up at the buzzer. No good, but the Hokies still control a 5-point lead at halftime.
Big way to close out. As mentioned, that last minute was important for BC. They hit the big 3. They go with a little momentum. Didn't play very well, but it had spurts, whereas Tech just shot it really well. If they could run them off the line, the Eagles could have a different outcome in the second half.
Virginia Tech a 31-26 lead. We'll be back to Bristol. Set the table at what is a super Saturday at college basketball. Enjoy halftime.
Run them off the line, communicate in transition is important. And Virginia Tech, take care of the ball. I mean, they're passing, they're a great passing team, but this first half, sloppy, bad catches, passes were off the mark. They did not value the ball, so they got to take care of it and not turn it over as much as they had in the first half.
Bisabide, the best in the entire conference in the ACC for assist-to-turnover ratio. Although it's Nolly who starts with it with his first shot, no good.
Don't love that first shot. It's kind of a bailout, 18-foot step back early in the shot clock. You can get something better than that.
What do you want to see from BC offensively as Heath fires a 3, rolls out?
He almost made Radford pay. Radford went under the screen. You can't do that with Heath either. You gotta lock onto his body, try to blow up and get through the screen. That wasn't good. And I want to see Heath continue to be aggressive. If he gets good looks like that, Eagles can go a long way. That's a flop.
Horn stays with it, misses. Offensive rebound in and out of the hands of Radford. Felder, the trailer, and he's fouled. Two at the foul line coming, where Boston College is 0 for 5 today. Foul line has not been kind, to say the least.
Nice job again by Heath being aggressive, drawing some attention. You never want to leave your feet to make a pass, but it worked out there. Felder trailing. A couple very talented freshmen there for Jim Christian's crew.
Now, this is a Boston College team that has suffered so many injuries throughout the season. This is only their third game all year where Jim Christian has had a full bench at his disposal. The injuries have been so bad, he even had surgery on his right foot. The coach, the coach is going down.
He wanted to get in the act.
That's when you know you really got a case of the injury bug.
But they are healthy now. I mean, anybody who's watched this team, when they have their full complement of guys, they can put some stuff together. They can beat anybody in this league. So it's nice for him to have that. And obviously for Mike Young on the other side, he's kind of bummed to see that, I'm sure. As he said to us before this game, there's a lot to worry about with this team when they're all there.
Cone darting in, he lost the ball again. Uncharacteristic turnovers. That's now 9 for Virginia Tech.
Average 9.5 per game on the season.
Hamilton cashes in on a triple. And just like that, BC pulls within 1.
Great job in transition, getting out, finding the open shooter, and knocking it down. Similar to how they started the first half, playing confident, playing loose, and getting good looks. And off the turnover again, they get out and go, and Thornton's got his head up. He sees Hamilton early on, gets in the teeth of the defense. Nice skip pass over the top, knockdown.
Virginia Tech still looking for their first points of this second half. Beatty working on Mitchell. Double team came over, has to pass out of it. Nolly, quick trigger, and that misses. Radford tracks it down and keeps it alive. Great hustle play.
Second time this game that he beat 3 white jerseys to get a defensive rebound, offensive rebound that he should not have gotten. Great work by him, but not good by the Eagles.
Well, Radford leads this team in rebounding, and he's only 6'1". It's the hustle plays and second chance points. Nolly makes BC pay.
It's the little things. The gap between winning and losing is really small. You have to clean up those things. That just penalized them too. The great offensive rebound in the first half also led to 2 points.
You look at the stats and see 6'1". How is he leading the team in rebounding? It's plays like that where height does not matter, although BC answers right away. Jay Heath, the freshman leading scorer for this team, now up to 12.
Great back cut by Heath. Playing him to come off the screen, he back cut and finished.
Horn tries a 3, goes begging. Ball stays with Boston College.
Heath, a capable shooter. You see how much Beatty's playing on the high side. He recognizes that, goes back door. The help there, a step late. Flex on him, freshman. Good finish.
Into Thornton, he lost the handle. Breakaway for Nolly, nobody in front of him. Easy 2.
Thornton, it's almost like it was too easy. He's asking Roger Ayers for a foul there, but he just wasn't strong with the ball. It was too easily dispossessed. That's his 5th turnover of the game, and that's a big one. They just gave them 4 points, the offensive rebound and then that turnover.
Take another look at this one.
You see, Thornton didn't attack the ball. The ball wasn't the best pass by Hamilton, but you got to attack it, try to get both hands on it. And Nolly out there free and clear.
Steal in the slam, and Virginia Tech builds the lead to, again, 3. Boston College has not led in this game since it was 10-8 early in the first half. Thornton for the tie. He's got it.
The pass by Mitchell on time, on target. Thornton's hands and feet ready. Big shot.
First made basket of the day for the grad transfer Derek Thornton. It's a big one on the drive. Beatty fouled. He steps to the line for 2. Bisa Beatty does so much for this Virginia Tech team. Mike Young says he's the heartbeat of this team. The one thing he doesn't do particularly well, shoot foul shots. Only 53% from the line this season. Makes that one, though.
It's a good-looking stroke, though, from the line. Got to finish 10 toes on the floor, hold that follow-through.
This week, NBA Saturday primetime matchup. LeBron James and the Lakers finishing up their East Coast trip in Philly against the 76ers. Coverage begins 8 Eastern time, 5 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app.
That could be a potential finals preview.
You think so? You think the Sixers are that good?
I mean, when they're all healthy and put it together, that team's pretty darn good. But, you know, Milwaukee is as well. A couple of teams in the East. The Celtics here in Boston have a good team.
LeBron James chasing Kobe Bryant for 3rd all-time in scoring. Not many people would have thought that LeBron would pass Kobe in a Lakers uniform.
That's a good point. Here's the double team. First time we're seeing Popovich on the block, drawing the double. He dribbles out of it, eventually finds the open man.
Extra pass to Heath, 4 to shoot. Heath darts into the lane, didn't get a clean look, and this will be a shot clock violation. Never hit the rim.
It's humbling. It's amazing, and I'm just appreciative, you know.
One guy that is here, too, is Coach Skinner.
Yep.
Skinner's here for the first time in years. What was that like to be able to share this moment with him?
Well, I actually talked to him on the phone last week, asked him if he was coming, you know, told him I'd like him to be here because my dad passed away, and there's a couple elders that I wanted to come share this moment with me. And when he told me he was coming, I just felt really good because I know not only do I appreciate it, but I know my father would have appreciated it as well, you know.
I feel you, man. It's good that he could be here
For sure.
to help support you. In terms of obviously, you guys had a lot of great memories.
Yep.
What sticks out here outside of the guys? I know the guys you already mentioned, the relationships, your
Right.
boys.
Right.
Give me something else that sticks out in your mind as one of the great memories of BC.
Well, the greatest memory from a team standpoint was winning the Big East tournament because we won the conference first, but the year before that we set a record for losing Big East games, and it was embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was embarrassing because we should at least win 500. I feel. So to come back, you know, win the conference and then win the Big East tournament when I don't think anyone thought we were going to win the Big East tournament, and then to win it the way we did, I don't know what the margin was, but I feel like nobody came within like 10 or 15. So to win it like that, man, it was just amazing.
Big East was rugged back then too.
That's what you know what the Big East was back then. You know what it was.
We're joined by Troy Bell, his number retired at halftime, 2-time Big East Player of the Year, all-time leading scorer for Boston College. Landers Knowledge just put Virginia Tech up by 2, but Troy, got to get your take on this BC team playing pretty well here at home against a good Hokies team.
You know, obviously I'm all about BC, and I want to see them get back to the days of old. So I mean it's going to take a little while. You know, you got young players, you got to build the chemistry, but I think Coach Christian does a really good job, and I've seen a couple of his practices. I think he practices well. You know, recruiting is tough. You know what I'm saying? BC is not your average school. We have high academic requirements. You know, you just can't get any kind of guy. You got to get the right type of guys, and I hope that they can just do a good job recruiting and get the program going.
Well, I'm curious. You know what a turnaround's all about. You said your team set the record for most losses, then goes and wins the Big East. How did you engineer that turnaround?
You know, I can honestly say that we had a bunch of guys that were tired of being the whipping boys. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're losing and you're okay with it, it's going to be hard to change things around. And I had a bunch of guys that were not okay with it. And then that summer, we went to Europe. We built our chemistry. I think guys gelled and got a little better, and we came back and started kicking butt. It was simple as that. You know, we were tired of losing, and we weren't going to accept it anymore. And that was pretty much the story. I think anybody could pretty much confirm that story.
Obviously, we're watching an ACC game here. It used to be the Big East that BC played in.
Yeah, V-Tech was there with us, though.
I know.
This was a Big East team when I was here.
As the whole landscape has changed in college sports, what do you see from the ACC, the difference of what this conference is now versus
Season, especially on the road in conference, just spurts of offense to give yourself an edge. Boston College trying to counter punch. Jay Heath has been the go-to guy, although this time passing off for Heron comes up short.
It's a good look, though. Jim Christian plotted the play, had that look on his face. Man, we got to make that. But that's a really well-executed play. They got the curl they wanted, and Heron taking a 15-footers couldn't hit it.
Aline lost the handle, but it'll stay Virginia Tech's way. They said Jared Hamilton got a touch.
BC's done a really good job with active hands and ball pressure today to disrupt the Virginia Tech offense that it's hard to guard because there's not a lot of sets. They'll run a ton of motion, down screens, back screens, flare screens, just a lot of movement into random ball screens at times. But they've been real active and gotten a lot of deflections to disrupt the rhythm of the Hokies.
Wilkins left alone for three. No good. Inside, the freshman Felder, and he was shoved out of bounds, but the foul came first.
Couture just lost sight of his man. Felder got the cut right behind him, and then Couture trying to recover. Just a kind of a senseless foul there.
Stepping aside.
I could do this right now. Well, maybe not the end
Not
part,
the dunk.
Maybe still. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe later I'll put some real shoes on.
Yeah,
but
I want to put you to the test on that.
you know, yeah, you're probably right.
What do you like most about Nolly's game?
I like his body, his ability to hurt you at all three levels. He can knock down a three, mid-range game is good, and he gets himself to the lane, to the rim very well. And I love when they put him in those situations where he's getting post-up opportunities. As we mentioned it against Carolina, late game, they went exclusively to that. He's got a couple in this half already getting in the post. I think they want to look to do that more just to put pressure on the defense and at times just get him some easy baskets, because right now BC is struggling to match up with that. Better defense by Beatty there. He stunted, he got back to Heath. Didn't let Heath get a three up like he did in the first half in a similar situation.
Double team comes on Mitchell and a foul call.
Sean Hill moves his hands, his cylinder foul. He was in his cylinder.
A great triple header for you. The best of the Big 12 SEC Challenge on ESPN. Starts with Tennessee and Kansas, then Kentucky, Texas Tech, and then #1 Baylor against Florida. That at 8 o'clock. All games on ESPN.
Kentucky, Texas Tech, big game. Tech, a strong defensive team, has some problems scoring at times, but Jamias Ramsey is must-see TV. And those guards for Kentucky's playing real well. Will Whitney, though, is going to transfer. He's leaving the team, maybe transferring. Quite a surprise for Kentucky.
Transfers become the modern day free agency for college basketball.
There's Nolly again in the post, this time operating on Felder. Good D by Felder. Good
Great
recovery.
block from the freshman. The defense has been there for BC. Looking for offense, Heath trying to provide. Felder offensive rebound. He's been really aggressive in this second half, and he'll get 2 foul shots coming.
It's a great sequence there by Felder on the defensive end. Doesn't leave his feet when Nolly spun on him. Blocks the shot, goes the other way. Offensive board, earns himself a chance to go to the free throw line.
Now, free throw line has been a struggle for Boston College today, just shooting 1 of 7. And it continues. It's a coach cliche, foul shots matter, but they really do, especially in conference play.
Old wise man told me a bunch of times, foul shots win ball games, my man.
That one goes, improves the percentage from 2 of 9 for Jim Christian's team this afternoon.
Matchup you want against Nolly with Heath. Nolly's got to want the ball, though, in the interior.
Calls for it here. Mismatch with Heron guarding Nolly. Lost the ball. Mitchell had it for a second. It's still loose. Heron comes up with it. Trying to bounce it through the Hamilton. Stayed with it and no good.
I think that hit every guy on the court on the way down the floor.
All that for a missed layup. Beatty tried to poke it through to Horn, and it was kicked out of bounds.
It was the right read. I think if he would have hooked it around with his left hand, he might have had enough lead to get that ball past the defender, but he passed it with his right hand and got deflected out.
Beatty struggling to get it in, forced it and a turnover, but Mitchell stepped on the end line, so it'll stay Virginia Tech ball. Great effort for Mitchell, just didn't see where his foot was.
And great D by, just couldn't quite do it. Hopped back in play, but you have to have all your digits established in play before you touch the ball again. Great defense by the Eagles, though. They communicated on the screens. There was nothing there. Beatty was yelling at P.J. Horn afterwards. He didn't like the cut he made. Beatty had nowhere to go with him. Done a good job of limiting Jalen Cone in this game, 15 in red. And 1 of 4, as I mentioned. He's been really hot as of late, helping this offense.
Great defense from Heron Jr. Beatty hung in the air to try and get the angle, and he never got it.
Drive down, and Heron just goes straight up. Good block.
Ball into Nolly. 4 seconds on the shot clock, and he smartly moves into that one to draw the foul.
These are the things I'm talking about when he understands the pace. The shot clock's getting late. A lot of guys get worried. They would just take that shot. He's in complete control, in command, uses his ball fake, gets the defender in the air, steps through to get fouled. He never rushed that, although so many guys do. Take a look as the clock now is about 5. A lot of guys would have just taken that shot and tried to go over the 6'10" guy, 6'7" Mitchell, but there used the shot fake, gets into him, and gets 1 of 2 at the line.
6-point lead for Virginia Tech. Boston College has just made 1 of their last 8 shots. The team all season has just fallen into shooting slumps. It's a testament to their defense that they're still in a 2-possession game. Mitchell on the drive, throws it up, nowhere close. But Virginia Tech gives it right back. They have had so many uncharacteristic turnovers today.
Unforced. I mean, I know Couture wants to get going, but he can dribble the ball off the floor.
Jared Hamilton on the drive, and he's fouled. We are 50 days away from Selection Sunday, and Joey Brackett saying Virginia Tech is the first team out right now, and with a win, if they can close out in the final 9 minutes, they would move into the field. 50 days, it's a lifetime in college basketball, but Virginia Tech, if you're a fan of the Hokies, prepare to hear bubble talk for the next 50 days.
Yeah, enjoy the bubble talk, though, because you're on the bubble. You wouldn't have thought that 5 months ago whenever they were starting their season in terms of preseason practice. Now, that said, that's why this game is important, though. As we mentioned, in the ACC this year, there are not a ton of good wins to be had. There are a fair amount of bad losses, and by the numbers, this would be a tough loss for them to take. It's a great pass by Mitchell.
Jarius Hamilton, an easy finish. You said it, Mitchell. Terrific feed.
But just to finish that point, as the crowd comes alive here, this is a game the Hokies really need to win in terms of that resume, whereas for BC, they're trying to snap a 4-game streak at home, a lot to play for.
Nolly, height advantage, got it.
Love it. Love they keep trying to feed him in the post. They have the mismatches, they know it. Good feed, good finish.
And that quiets Conti for him pretty quickly. Thornton, again, draws a foul with the dribble. It's funny, a bad loss, you would say, even though it's a conference road game. Those are tough to win.
Yeah, they're tough to win. This is not easy to win, but again, by the numbers and what that can do to your rankings, and the net ranking is the second year in that metric is out there as an evaluation tool for the committee. You don't want to lose a team that's in the plus hundreds. Even though it's a road game, it still does not help your resume. It can really hurt if you lose that. And you lose granted, with so much time to go, you could lose another 1 or 2 of these, but you got to take care of the one in front of you, as Mike Young said to us earlier. One quick point is they're on the free throw line here. Virginia Tech is not fouled. Their defensive free throw rate is top 20 in the nation. It's outstanding. But already, BC is in the bonus, and they made them pay this time.
Yeah, Thornton made both of them. You look at the ACC standings. It's really a battle for 4th. We think the top 3, Louisville, Florida State, Duke. Virginia Tech right in the mix for 4th, and they were picked 14th preseason.
Well, I wouldn't say we think it's the top 3. I'd bet my mortgage those 3 finish somewhere in that order, 1, 2, 3, anywhere of those 3 teams. It is that group, and can you 4-5 with a 4th and 5th team get a bid? And with the 6th team even for the ACC, I don't think that's the case. I think they're looking at a 4 or 5 bid league at the most. And really, it's Syracuse has got into the mix, though, in the conversation in recent weeks. NC State, Virginia Tech, whereas Virginia has fallen out of that conversation a bit.
4-point game here is a crucial ACC road game for Virginia Tech. Do have a 4-point lead, trying to make it just a 1-point deficit. No good from Hamilton, but the Eagles get the offensive rebound.
Just outworked. Couture didn't want the ball as much as Collier did.
Second chance points is the name of the game, and Mike Young says give him a timeout.
You've got to find a way to finish possessions on the road. Couture does not attack the basketball, I should say.
4 teams from the ACC, that's rare.
That's very rare. I mean, they're perennially, 7, 8, maybe 9 teams are in the, I mean, they're at least in the discussion. They usually get 7 or 8 in the tourney. In terms of this season right now, the Big Ten, I don't think they get 11. They're going to cannibalize themselves a bit. I think they do get 10 bids. That league is really, really deep and really hard to win on the road right now. 84% of the home teams are winning games, which is pretty crazy. But the ACC here, he's got 4 now, and I think 5 is the max for this league. Nolly then trying to post up Heath and get him a touch inside.
Hokies trying to be one of those 4 or 5 teams. Foul comes in on Nolly. He's demanded a double team in this second half. He's really come alive. Could be the ACC Freshman of the Year, and he's got 15 points to lead the Hokies in scoring this afternoon. Now, we told you Virginia Tech lives and dies by the 3 in the second half. 0 for 6 from deep.
That's the key, though. 6 3-point attempts. That's all they've gotten up, which is really critical. That's only a third of their shots for the half. We mentioned it at halftime. You got to run them off the line, limit their 3-point attempts. They've done a good job. That is a big take by Aline.
Count it plus the foul. The freshman, Naheem Aline, heads to the line to try and complete the 3-point play.
And this is what you have to be able to do. They're going to switch all the screens as they do when you get a mismatch. They don't want to help on the strong side. You're going to have driving angles. You're going to have opportunities to get to the rim 1v1. Can you win? Can you finish? And there he does it, and through contact.
Can't complete the old-fashioned 3-point play. Still just a 4-point game. Boston College has hung around despite really never finding an offensive rhythm in this game. Heath on the drive, had a step. He'll head to the line for 2.
Take a look. Heath comes off this flare screen. Beatty went under the screen. I think he gave Heath a little bit of a second. I thought Heath was going to take that shot. He did. He was aggressive and drove the ball baseline. Was still able to get by Beatty and earn himself a chance to the charity stripe. But hasn't been charitable at all for the Eagles here today.
Just shooting 4 of 11 from the line. We remind you, Sports Center tonight after the X Games. John Anderson, Kenny Mayne, they'll have reaction. If LeBron James can pass Kobe Bryant for another career milestone, plus Tiger Woods out playing in Torrey Pines this weekend. All coming to you, Sports Center, midnight Eastern time on ESPN and the ESPN app. And the free throw struggles continue for Boston College. Eagles just 4 of 12 now from the foul line.
Man, that's going to hurt. And they're defending really well for the most part. They've earned these chances to get to the line and just not capitalizing enough.
Made that one to make it a 1-possession game. Just a 3-point lead for the Hokies on the road here in Chestnut Hill. Aline goes to the drive again, puts it up off the window, doesn't drop. Second effort, rolls around. Radford got it again and was fouled. Didn't result in any points, but how about the hustle from Tyrese Radford?
The effort for him to get the first rebound is one thing. I think everybody assumed this is a good drive by Aline. I like that they're going to him in an isolation. He gets through 3 white jerseys again. I think they thought it was going in. You see Jared Hamilton leaking away number 3. Heath doesn't crash. Nobody attacks the ball. Again, Radford creating something out of nothing but can't capitalize.
The freshman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, measures in at just 6'1" and yet leads this Hokies team in rebounding. It's because of hustle plays like that one. It goes 1 for 2 from the line.
And he's a quick jumper. Gets off the floor very, very quickly. He's got good anticipation, reads the flight of the ball well. Had
the game winner in double overtime to beat North Carolina on Wednesday. Trying to swing back-to-back ACC wins this week. A 4-point lead against Boston College. Hamilton fires from 3. He's got it! Jarius Hamilton delivers a big-time triple. Boston College thought they had another turnover. We show you the threes from Virginia Tech. When you live by the three, you can die by the three, and Virginia Tech's lead is dwindled to just one. But the ball will stay with the Hokies here. There was a foul off the ball. It was called on Derek Thornton.
Thornton was tied up with Nolly. That was the mismatch. They tried to get it inside, but it was so telegraphed. There was so much help coming from the Eagles, and a bad pass. Thornton just let him go. They would have picked it off. That was a tough call, but the right call by Roger Ayers, because Thornton continued to hold on to it.
Tried to get it to Nolly. That time he did turn it over.
This Eagles team is starting to really feed off the crowd. They have really defended well in the second half. Jim Christian's crew mentioned, you saw the 0 for 6 from the three-point line. They are making it hard for them to even get looks. That is the key to defending the line against a team that shoots it this well. And offensively, they're starting to get a little bit of rhythm and play with some confidence as this building comes alive.
Great feed. Boston College for the lead. No. But a foul comes in. Mitchell still an opportunity to take the lead from the foul line.
In the first half, they ran this similar situation with a ball screen and the roll, and Beatty was there on the help to get a steal. Here's the difference with Radford. He's a younger player. He's a step late, 23. It wasn't Nolly. It was 23 at first. Should have gotten the steal if he was rotating over. And then Nolly should have been there a step earlier to contest it.
Rattles in and out. Mitchell still an opportunity to tie this game at 49. Jim Christian's team hasn't tasted a lead in this game since we were 4.5 minutes into the first half. The score was 10-8. Missed it, and he knew it right when he released it.
Yeah, this team shoots 66% in the season. That's not horrible, that's not good, but sometimes you're missing free throws. It can be contagious through the team. You start to press, you start to think about it. I feel like everybody's doing that right now in a white jersey.
They've missed 10 foul shots today, just 5 of 15. 1 point Hokies lead. Beatty over the Radford. To the leading scorer, Nolly. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Tough take, contested. He missed it.
Great rebound by Jarius Hamilton. That time he attacked the ball and just ripped it right away from Radford.
Hamilton fade away. He was fouled, and he heads to the foul line. I don't know, Dallin. At this point, do you even want to go to the foul line? You're shooting 5 of 15 today.
That's the problem. That is a great question. I would say yes, you still want to get to the line, but you got to be able to step up there, block out all that had happened before, focus on your routine, focus on your form. 10 toes into the floor, hold that follow through, block out everything else.
First foul shot from Hamilton today, and it goes right on in. So we're tied at 49. A little more than 4 minutes to go. Both of these teams played in a 2-point game at the midweek. Virginia Tech won in double overtime by 2. BC lost by 2. And the Eagles now have their first lead since we were 4.5 minutes into this game.
Adjustment. BC didn't switch those screens at the top, so Nolly didn't have the mismatch. They thought Thornton was going to be on him. It's still a big on him, Steph Mitchell.
A lead contested shot. Tracking it down, ball's loose. Nolly has it. It keeps it alive for the Hokies. Radford through the spin cycle, lays it up and in. Hokies back on top.
Man, hustle plays, and that dude's got quick feet. Looks like a running back right there. Hit the circle button, took off, and got to the 10.
Jared Hamilton steps into it and hits it.
Created by Radford because he reached for no reason. He reached, got out of position, allowed Hamilton to advance to the basket, and he calmly knocks it down.
These two teams going punch for punch on a Saturday in the ACC. Foul called on the floor. It'll go against Boston College. A fun finish coming.
Jim Christian doesn't like that call, but it was the right call right there. Look at this, just chaos. Both teams wanted ball all over the floor. Everybody's getting a piece of it, and then Radford, quick feet, spins baseline. Good finish. But then what an answer the other way. Radford reaches, gets out of position. Hamilton comes the other way. It is a back and forth fight to the end here in Chestnut Hill. To the Nolly, because right now, if they're switching screens, they're really telegraphing they want to go to the mismatch with him, and they're not helping off of weak side and helping off of guys off the ball. So other guys have to be able to drive the ball and drive to scores. We've seen Aline do a couple times. And if they do help, you have to make the right play and the right read as Beatty misses the free throw. That's critical too.
He misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
And for on the other side here, Jarius Hamilton's been great. Play through Hamilton and Heath. I think both of them have been very good in terms of their aggressiveness and making the right plays offensively and playing in flow.
Hamilton, great pump fake, delivers for two. Jared Hamilton is taken over for BC.
Did I say Jared? I meant Jarius? I meant Jared. My fault. My bad. My bad.
Those two brothers have bailed the Eagles out offensively.
Good help. They worked on that in shoot around when they go. Oh, lost sight of his man. But before that, that is just how Jim Christian drew it up. We want to help, make them go the other way, make them recover as a quick timeout is called.
Radford got the bucket. Timeout taken by Mike Young. Virginia Tech now with 1 remaining. Take another look at this.
This is Radford just overreacting. I mean, he hardly uses the ball fake at all. He just looks at the rim, and Radford left his feet. That's 2 possessions in the last few minutes that Radford has made unnecessary, uncharacteristic mistakes that have led to shots. That one, the jump, and then he reached earlier on Jared Hamilton, let Jared get downhill and knock down a 12-footer.
Back-to-back baskets for Jared Hamilton. The senior missed a couple of games, returned today. Jim Christian said, boy, we've needed him back. Senior leader, best defender on this team. Didn't mention anything about offense, but he delivers in the clutch.
He really has. He's had 2 really good possessions, but defensively, that's where BC's been outstanding in the second half, and he's been a big part of it as he heads now to inbound the ball here. Heads down, to play on offense. Let's see what they run here. Last time was an isolation for him. Maybe keep riding Hamilton the way he's played the last couple possessions and the confidence he's got. Play through Jared, not Jarius this time.
Boston College trying to end a 4-game losing streak and also what would be a 5-game losing streak against this Hokies team. Leading by 1, a little more than 2 minutes to play. The brother, Jarius Hamilton, drains it. It's the Hamilton Show in Chestnut Hill. "13 points this half for the sophomore younger brother, Jarius Hamilton. 21 on the night. An answer for 3, no good.
Was the shot Aline hit when they beat North Carolina in regulation to get them back and get it tied. He hits big shots down the stretch. That time he misses. It's a big possession, obviously, for BC. And that little roll and replace action, Hamilton replaced up and took the 3 last time around. And that's a foul you just don't need to take. Now, that said, again, they're going to make you pay at the line. Good find by Thornton, and that was Hamilton replacing up to the top. He caught it hands and feet ready. It's the 2nd time this game he's nailed the 3 in that exact same action. Rishwain likes it on the bench.
The Hamilton brothers have combined for the last 7 points in this game. It's Jared, the senior, at the line, where Boston College is 7 of 17 from the foul line.
Oof.
And that one's off the mark.
The second one I've seen today where I thought that was going to airball when he let it go.
They've got a 4-point lead, but they've missed 11 foul shots in this game.
Foul shots win ball games. There's a big box out too here. If you're for Virginia Tech, you got to pinch down on one side. Somebody's got to box out the shooter. You got to make sure you clean this up if he misses. Oof, there it is.
There was the air ball. You said a couple of them have looked like it, and that one missed everything. That's hard to do.
And it wasn't just it was short, too. It was short and left. Going to take Wabisa Beatty off the ball. Jalen Cone has the ball here.
Nolly has to pass. He picked up his dribble. Has to get rid of it. Finally does. Cone just lost his footing, and it's Boston College basketball.
I love the initial call. A little misdirection with the play was really drawn up for Cone to get a three. Again, well defended by BC, communicating. They didn't do that at their shoot around all day. Their shoot around today, not communicating, not talking. This possession, they were. Cone, as I mentioned, guys are able to drive one-on-one and make some plays other than Nolly, and Cone couldn't do it.
You foul here or play it out?
The way they're shooting the ball, I foul, yeah.
The foul comes in. 7 of 19 from the foul line today for Boston College.
And Heath is a guy you want to 56% on the season from the line. So put them on the line and see if the struggles can continue.
The freshman from Washington, D.C. Weight of this game shifted to his shoulders. He's got 2 coming. Rims out now 7 of 20 from the foul line. Trying to close out a crucial ACC game that would end a 4-game losing streak and improve the Eagles to 4-5 in conference play. Big time make. The lead is 5.
You don't need a 3, you need the best available shot, but you obviously have to work at a quick pace. Got a mismatch. Kambidi should have tried to take him.
Nolly lost his footing. That's a travel.
He's got to stop on 2. It's the second time he's dragged that pivot foot. If he can jump stop, he's on balance, he's poised, and he can able to rip through and be stronger with the ball. See him just drag that left foot.
Ball gets inbounded quickly, and Jay Heath headed right back to the foul line.
And Heath is talking to himself as he's walking down the court. I hope he's talking himself up. First and foremost, when you step to that line, you have to have belief and confidence you're going to make it. You got to want this opportunity. I know he's not a great free throw shooter, but you got to believe, be confident. Again, focus on your routine. It should be the same thing every time you step to the line. Focus on your mechanics. 10 toes in the floor. Hold that follow through.
Does just that. And now an opportunity to make it a 3-possession game with a made foul shot here. Virginia Tech with only 1 timeout remaining.
Fell off the line. And we were talking about 10 toes in the floor. You want to finish with all 10 toes there.
Trailing by 6. Leading scorer, Nolly. A 3 to Cone. It's good! Jalen Cone buries it, and Virginia Tech cuts the lead in half.
That just can't happen. They've defended so well. It's a simple down screen for Cone. He is shooting, again, 58% over the last 5 games from the three-point line. You've kept him quiet all game. You cannot allow him to have space. When you go under the screen, that's a freshman. You see Heath stops, he runs into the screen. Poorly played, allowing Cone to set his feet, knock it down. Thornton tries to switch out there and help. What he should be doing is riding Cone's body. If you can get through the screen, you can maybe push him off. If he comes off it tight, you're making him curl. You are not giving him any separation. He did, and he paid for it. That's the first made 3 of the half for the Hokies at a huge time.
0 for 7 from 3 in this second half before that make by the freshman Jalen Cone. That's one thing for this Hokies team. In crunch time, they are relying a lot of the time on freshmen to make plays, you know, on the road in conference. Again, this was a team picked second to last preseason on the bubble right now. People expect them to win this game, but this is still a tall task for a really young team.
350th in the nation in terms of experience out of 353 teams. And this team has grown up through the year, but it is hard to win on the road in conference play. We know that. We're aware of that. But as I said, by the numbers, this is a loss you really don't want to take for their resume. But throw that out the window right now. They have to defend. They have to defend really well here. You don't have to foul right away. And you know how BC's been struggling. I would try to get a trap, try to get a turnover. If that doesn't work, I would continue. You got to foul Heath if possible again, put him back on the line. But this team overall has struggled, but Heath might be the guy you want to see up there again.
Boston College is shooting 9 of 23 from the foul line. They've missed 14 free throws. This game far from over.
Clock started when they passed it. Doesn't start until the ball is put in play. It was still the pass along the baseline, which is legal, but the ball is out of play.
After a made basket, you're allowed to do that. Jim Christian so frustrated
He doesn't like it because that's part of your inbound play that you want to free somebody up. Now you've seen that. They know that. So now you got to call something else. Obviously, if Jared Hamilton gets the ball to the air ball, I would definitely want to foul him too. Trap.
And Derek Thornton is fouled.
It's probably the one guy on the court you don't want to foul. 74% on the year. And they had a little bit more time. He was going to probably have to give it up.
Oklahoma State, Texas A&M coming up next right here on ESPNU. Right now, Dallin Cuff, Jay Alter with you. Boston College trying to end a 4-game losing streak in the ACC. Derek Thornton to make it a 2-possession game. Can't do it. The foul shooting struggles continue. The Eagles now 9 of 24. They have missed 15 foul shots of this game, and that has opened the door for Virginia Tech.
You know when you're watching something embarrassing or difficult, and you kind of got your hands on your face, but you can see through it? That's how I feel right now watching him shoot free throws.
Oh, my.
You get a rebound, though.
2 or 3 here, Dallin.
Best available shot. You don't need a 3, but if it's open, take it. It's a mismatch. Good drive by Beatty.
Beatty, no good. Hamilton grabs the rebound, and a foul comes in with 12.5 seconds left.
I think Beatty had a chance to get to the hoop. I think he could have leaned into Hamilton's body and been able to get to the rim to a layup to get a foul or a shot. He instead chose to fade away and shoot it over. I think right there, if he could have just, leans into his body there, he leaned back. If he goes into him and in towards the hoop, I think he makes that or at least gets fouled. That's tough. That's a tough shot. A lot of touch on that shot necessary in the angle he was at.
Mike Young and Virginia Tech out of timeouts in this game. Jarius Hamilton, leading scorer for Boston College today. An opportunity to make it a 4-point game, and he does. Largest cheer of the afternoon for a foul shot.
For sure. Now, Virginia Tech, once they get this ball in bounds, they want to blow it up the court and try to get something at the rim real quick. Get a quick 2.
Got them both.
And for BC, you don't want to foul, you don't want to help off of anybody.
Nolly has to hurry. 6 seconds have ticked off. Can't make the 3. Boston College gets the rebound, and the Eagles end the 4-game losing streak with a big win at home, 61-56 to knock off Virginia Tech.
Jim Christian's got to be incredibly proud of his guys. The second half effort on the defensive end was absolutely outstanding. They made the plays on the offensive end necessary. Virginia Tech, they're going to go back to Blacksburg and back to the drawing board. This was not a game they played well in, but a lot of that is credited to how well BC did defensively.